Welcome everyone to a live stream that isn't Toaru podcast. How are we all today? Yes, we are doing all spin-offs and side stories in the Toaru franchise ranked tier list. And I know there have been some of you who have recommended quite a few times for me to do this, and I've declined you. But I am going to do it today because I really need to stream once every week. That's my aim. Trying to make a short every week, try and make a stream every week. I will try and stay consistent best I can. But it's important. Hello everyone. Good to see you all. And I hope you've seen my newest video which I uploaded just an hour ago. If not, then you can watch it after this. It's an Imagine Breaker theory. But yeah. So I need all sorts of topics to do regular streams, otherwise I'd run out. So I definitely will abuse the tier list gimmick for as long as I can. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see how this goes, shall we? So yeah, here we go. We've got the spin-offs of A Certain Magical Index here. There's not that many of them compared to the side stories. Like, look at the side stories here. Although, for this tier list that I'm using for the side stories, I think they've been repeated, like, quite a few times, because I think, like, Kanzaki SS is there twice, and some of the others, so... But yeah, for, like, the spin-offs, there's not that many of them. Like, okay, fair. I guess for in terms of having spin-offs for a main show, this is a decent number, but for, like, Toaru standards, it's like, oh, I'm expecting hundreds. I don't know. A lot of people saying in the chat. Oh, we got a super chat already. God damn. It hasn't popped up yet, but I will talk about it when we pop up. Evolution GG Vegito, I think. Thank you for supporting the channel. And no message attached, I don't think, but we'll see what happens when it pops up. But yeah, let's start things, shall we? Because people don't want to see me or hear me ramble about random stuff. So I guess we'll just go Astral Buddy. Astral Buddy. I'm going to give Astral Buddy an A. I don't think it deserves a B. Because it just is really solid story. And I don't know why the super chat hasn't come through yet on my thing. Very strange. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. But yeah, oh, there we go. Speaking of the devil, it arrives. That was really delayed. Lisa came. Thank you, Evolution GG Vegito. Appreciate you. No message, but yeah, cheers. Yeah, at least it finally arrived. God damn. But yeah, Astral Buddy. No one was expecting this to be like amazing. Like I remember when this was first announced, and people were like, the hell is this? Astral Buddy? Like, admittedly, I was one of the people who was like, just read the title, judged the book by its cover. I was like, that sounds pretty lame. Astral Buddy? What is this? About, like, Buddy the household elf in Toaru? Household elf? That's meant to be Dobby. The Buddy the elf, you know, guy from the elf, Will Ferrell. Oh, there's another one as well. So, Mr. Galaf. Thank you for the super chat. And we've got a message this time. Aeon is forcing me to watch the stream, and honestly, I'm not forcing anyone. When have I ever forced anyone? And Orphanus is in the chat. Oh my god, this is crazy. Good to see everyone. And I'm not forcing anyone. Listen, you can sleep. You don't have to feel obliged to watch my content. I know it's good to see it live and everything, because you're part of the squad. But come on. Value your sleep. Listen, I appreciate you tuning in. I know I was like, in the Discord server, admittedly, I was like, you guys better be in for this, otherwise I will hunt you down like Aqua hunted Toma in OT16. As a joke, I'm not going to try and hunt down anyone IRL. I'm not SSS Sniper Wolf. God. But yeah, like, please prioritize your sleep and health. Toaru videos can wait. But yeah, as I was saying about Astral Buddy, I was judgmental. I read the title when it was first released, and I was like, yeah. But I do appreciate it in the fact it took a risk. It decided to go for like a nothing character, which was Junko. And we didn't even know Junko's name at this point. She was just the girl with the ringlet curls. That's what she was called in the light novel for years, until her name was actually finally revealed in this spin-off. And now she's like an established character in multiple spin-offs, which is crazy. But yeah, Junko, I think Junko especially really warmed up to the fans. The more we read of Astral Buddy, the more we grew attached to her. The fights are amazing. Really good use of the powers and strategy. The plot was also good. It ties in with New Testament as well. And also the Railgun anime in Season 3 with the Clone Dolly Ideal Lab. So it's a solid story. It's not the best story ever written. I feel like there's other stories in the Toaru franchise that are better, but it's still like a solid-ass plot. Characters are really great. Love the fights. Yeah, I pretty much mentioned everything I love about it. Yeah, even the new characters that are introduced, new characters are great. They all have their moments in that. Yumiya Iruka as well. I really like her. Cool ability. What more needs to be said? And yeah, it had a pretty good ending, all things considered. Okay, now we have dark matter. So, a certain scientific dark matter. Oh, man. You know I love my dark matter. But legit, the only negative I can think of this is that it was only one volume, and we've had another super chat. Mr. Galaf. Thank you for the super chat again. Appreciate it. Astral Buddy S tier because Gunhurt is in it. Yes, Gunhurt does show up in it, and he does have a pretty prominent role, all things considered, even if he is not in every chapter. He appears more towards the latter stages of the story in Astral Buddy. But yeah, Gunhurt was absolutely kick-ass, and the fact we got to learn more about his power and his chemistry with Junko is just beautiful. Like, I know people say like Junko is into girls and that because she blushes when Jokoho is teasing her and everything. And it's like, oh my queen. But come on. Like, Junko and Sugita, they're just so wholesome. They're just a vibe. Like, I love... They're just so quirky because they're goofballs. Because Sugita's got such an endearing personality with his superhero antics and thinking he's just a, I don't know, just a guts machine who just wants to fight everyone and test other people's guts. And Junko is just a cinnamon roll. She's really sweet, so they're just perfect in my opinion. But feel free to disagree. I just think that if Junko is into like Shoko, then it's like there's kind of like a difference in power dynamic there, because not only Junko's basically subservient to Shoko, and I guess some people like that, don't they? But that aside, you get what I mean though. I feel like Junko and Sugita respect each other as equals, which is better in my opinion. Of course, Shoko respects her clique and that, but there's a power difference. Yeah. I hope you understand what I mean. But back to Dark Matter. Yeah, the only complaint, it didn't last longer. Which is not what people say about me. Hey! Jokes aside, is it Kakina? Kakine? Listen, I always screw up his pronunciation. I'll just call him Kakina. Kakine. Whatever. Kak. We'll call him Kak. Big Kak was an absolute MVP in this volume. Because it is one volume. Even though it's a side story, it's one volume, one shot. But damn, they made the most of what they got. It's just so disappointing it didn't continue. Admittedly, it did end in the best way possible that it could have ended. It's a solid start, beginning, and end. And we've had another super chat. My goodness. Mr. Galef is trying to set the super chat record again. Thank you so much. Actually, I love the the intentional misspelling of actually there for the meme. Actually, Gunha and Toma have better chemistry. I won't deny that. I mean, they're pretty on point with each other. What can I say? We all saw Toma blush when he got princess carried by Gunha. So we all saw it. We all saw it because yeah, he blushed. So he's into Gunha. That's the Yaoi fans talking. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, thank you for the super chats again. But Kak, like, people always appreciated Kak in the novel for his cool ability and persona, but I don't feel like people fully appreciated or understood if there was more depth to him. Because he was just, yeah, he just wants to kill Accelerator because he's the number one. And he wants to meet up with Alistair so he can have a greater purpose in life, I guess, or not be restricted by the system of Academy City or something like that. Along those lines, anyway. We didn't really get to see what he would have done if he did achieve his goal. Which would have been interesting, but then Accelerator would have died, so can't do that. Maybe in a what-if story that's more suited. But Dark Matter, the story, it really added a lot of needed character depth to Kak. I feel like we really understand him as a character more thanks to this spin-off. It is so appreciated. And his dynamic with Ringo, Yuzuriha Ringo, is excellent. Really good writing. There doesn't seem to be as many, like, of the cliches in this as well. It feels really refreshing. Because if you think of Toaru, you think of the fan service. There isn't really any fan service in this volume either. It's just a really solid story that's not relying on any bullshit to be compelling. I guess you could say the villain Kihara. What's he called? Kihara something. Oh god, too many Kiharas. It's not Ransu. Ransu's the guy from NT. Oh god, someone remind me in the comments what the Kihara was called. But yeah, he's not the most compelling villain in the world. I guess you could say that. But we don't really have many. I always say it. We don't really have many two-dimensional Toaru characters that are villains. So when one does show up in a Kihara form, I'm like, yeah, he's still cool. I still appreciate it. Gensei? No, it wasn't Kiara Gensei in Dark Matter. He's in Railgun. I don't think it... Yeah. Soji. Yes, thank you, Botman. Soji. Appreciate you. Yeah, Kihara Soji. He seemed, yeah, pretty generic Kihara. That's the only complaint I can think of other than, like, the length. But those are nitpicks. Like, come on. Really great. And I'd love to see it, you know, published in English one day. But consider... I don't know. I can see the two arguments. Okay, it's one volume, so surely it should be easy to publish in English, but I don't know how much faith, like, the English publishers would have behind a spin-off like this for a niche character. I don't know, you tell me. Okay, now we have Railgun, the most famous and successful of all spin-offs. Guys, help me out with this. Oh, God. I don't know, man. It's either S or A, and I cannot decide. We'll put it in S for now, because someone's super chatting me again. Galaf, you're on a roll. What can I say, man? Thank you. Catman will always be Notice Me, Alistan to me, yeah. Notice Me, Alistair Senpai. I've joked about it on my Battle Royale Explain video, maybe. That was a long time ago. I swear I made that joke before. In some place or some form. But yeah, he literally is. Kak is like such a big Alistair simp. It's ridiculous. Botman saying 2 peak arcs and 4 like kind of mid ones. It's B. S tier if you remove the fillers. This is the manga. All right. For this, I need to specify this is like the actual source material. This isn't like the anime version of it. Because I feel like it'd be unfair to like compare it like the Railgun anime to spin-offs that haven't even had an anime yet. That's kind of weird in my opinion. So this is source material only, so no filler. Unless you mean filler as in like the arcs that don't really matter that much, then fair play. Yeah, it's got 2 peak arcs, which is true. But even the first arc I think is good. It's better than the first arc in the anime in terms of its pace and everything. After the Daihesei arc, I do like the Indian Poker arc. I do like the Dream Ranker arc. I like the philosophical stuff behind that. Jailbreaker arc was not my cup of tea. There are some good fights in there, like the ninja versus Kuroko fight. That was good. Well, even like the start of it was kind of mid. It was like, yeah, we're breaking out this prisoner. It was like, okay, who's the prisoner? I guess there was the intrigue behind that. But again, it was just like, oh, here's Dolly. What I mean by this is that at the start of the Jailbreaker arc, it just seemed like they were just giving a lot of characters that were known cameos. It were just like cameos everywhere. Like some New Testament characters pop up, like Dolly appears. It was mad. Like Umi Shuri, I mean. Yeah, and then the ending of the Jailbreaker arc, I've talked about it many times. It's not good. And now we have the freshman arc. No, not freshman arc, because New Testament 1 is the freshman arc. But you get what I mean. I guess we call it year 1 arc, or the Misaka backstory arc. Whatever you want to call it. Since freshman is taken. Started off very rough, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of the start of it, and you introduce all these new characters that are just... There's just too many of them. There's just too many characters to keep track of. It's not like it's Battle Royale where you got the different factions. It's just... You have different factions in this, but it's like double, if not triple the amount of characters you get in the Battle Royale volume and index. And you expect me to remember, like, which one of these girls belong to which clique? Like, come on. It's ridiculous. It is improving, I will give it that. I did get up to date with it recently, because I put it on hold for a long-ass time. Trust me. But yeah, it just feels like there's a lot of promise to the story, but it's not fully cooked yet. So, again, I can't really judge Jailbreaker fully yet. Not Jailbreaker, bloody hell. Year 1 arc, there we go. I can't fully judge Year 1 arc yet. That being said, yeah, it's just those two arcs. The more I express it in words, the more I think maybe it is a high A. I feel like B is harsh. I feel like B would be very harsh. We'll give it high A. It's either high A or low S in my opinion. Because come on, it's provided some of the most iconic moments in the entire franchise. Like literally, the Sisters arc was peak. The Sisters arc in the novel was great, but this is what made the Sisters arc truly popular to the mainstream, thanks to Railgun S and everything. Okay, now we have a certain Dark Sides item in novel format, because I've got it in the manga as well, even though there's only been 1 chapter of it. But light novel. Thing is, this only has 2 volumes out, so it's kind of hard to tell or judge its quality in full. Because I really loved Volume 1. Volume 2 wasn't as good. It was still decent, but it just wasn't as good as the first volume. Because I feel like the first volume was like the perfect introduction to it. I couldn't have envisioned a better first volume for it, considering it's a prequel and it's like a Mugano / item spin-off. I was expecting like, yeah, maybe it'll be good, maybe. Because I just thought automatically of like the Railgun side story volumes, which we'll get onto later. Because yeah, it's in novel format, and usually the spin-offs are in novel format. So I'm thinking, oh no, this is gonna be like the Railgun side stories, but with item instead. So that was like where my expectations were, but that I just got completely blown out of the water by that. My god, it was incredible. But yeah, a lot of interesting lore. The character dynamics are incredible. Hanano Chobi, she is amazing. She's one of my new favorite characters from the franchise. I am an absolute Hanano stan. She is great in Volume 1. But yeah, it's hard. I don't know, because it's 2 volumes, but Dark Matter's 1 volume, but that's different because it's a complete package. It's finished, while this is still ongoing. And there's so much promise for it. Oh, this is so... You guys don't know how hard it is for me to rank this. I'll have to place it just below Astral Buddy. I don't know, because I feel like I like Item Volume 1 more than any point in Astral Buddy. Even like the Sogita stuff. Maybe for that alone, it has to be higher. But at the same time, it's not finished. It's... I don't know, guys. What are you guys saying? Still cooking to you? Maybe still cooking. Yeah. If I put a still cooking tier in, then yeah, probably go there. Okay, now we have a side story that isn't canon. So yeah, usually I wouldn't do the non-canon stuff, but since there is a limited amount of spin-offs, I should say, we will include it. And plus it's peak. So okay. Do I put Idol or Accelerator above Dark Matter? What do you guys say? What do you guys say? Above Dark Matter or not? Above Dark... Does it go above Dark Matter? Yes. People say yes. We all know it's S tier. I will elaborate why people are saying it's S tier above. Okay. Listen, as Emperor Palpatine once said, I love democracy. I love the Republic. Okay, democracy wins. Okay, Idol Accelerator. So, I also remember when this got announced. When this got announced, people were losing their minds. They could not believe it. They were like, what the hell is Kamachi cooking with this one? This was just mind-blowing. It's so hilarious and ironic that this ended up being better than Accelerator's canon actual manga. I mean, if you count it as canon. But we'll talk about that one after this. Oh my god. Idol Accelerator, where do I begin? So, when I went... Yeah, I'll just cover like my expectations going into this like I did with the other ones. So, going into Idol Accelerator, I don't know what my expectations were. I just thought, yeah, this seems a bit strange, funny. This is obviously a parody. And Accelerator said, your love... or your love vectors... I don't know. He said something about love vectors. That's all I remember from like chapter 1. And it's like, okay. And he gets recruited into the Idol level 5 Idol program instead of like the Sisters Project or something. It's weird. It's not canon, guys. Just saying. I know it's disappointing. Well, it ended up being like a huge parody of not just Accelerator, because that's kind of my expectations going into it. I thought it was just going to be a parody of Accelerator and his friends, you know, like Sisters and Worst maybe, and Yamikawa Yashikawa. Maybe Toma would show up as a cameo. But no, this ended up being like a full-on parody of like the entire of the entirety of Index. You get like God's Right Seat showing up and everything in one of the chapters. You get so many characters from Index. It's like crazy. There's just so many funny chapters. I was dying so many times while reading Idol Accelerator for the first time. It was a blast. Mr. Galaf, thank you for the super chat yet again. I passed out, woke up, and thought Excel was in S. Well, Excel is in S, but in a different way. The better Accelerator manga is in S. Well, yeah, I think someone mentioned it's like Carnival Phantasm. Yeah, I'm not seeing Carnival Phantasm, but I get what it's about. Yeah, it does need an anime like that, because I feel like that would be really successful if Idol Accelerator got an anime. Because, you know, people love Accelerator, and this is like the perfect anime to get people engaged. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Everyone can understand it. So yeah, it just seems like a no-brainer. It seems like easy money to make an Idol Accelerator anime, and plus it's like 30 chapters long, so it can be easily done. I don't know why they haven't done it yet. But yeah, there's like so many chapters. One of them that I remember is like where Accelerator and the level 5s have a race. That was pretty fun. Just seeing like quirky things like that is just brilliant. Oh yeah, and the rivalry between CAC and Accelerator. Oh my god. Just the memes that came from that were just hilarious. Oh my god, the memes. They were just brilliant. I love talking about it. Oh boy. So yeah, Idol Accelerator. I think it's in like my top 10 manga on Mal still. God. Coffee break. They haven't done an anime for Idol XL because they know the anime would be too powerful. True. That is very true. Okay. Here we have the other Accelerator manga. Oh boy. Where do I begin with this, guys? Where do I begin with this? Mid out of 10. It even made fun of the Accelerator manga. Yeah. Oh my days. Okay. The Accelerator manga is not all bad. It is not okay. One arc is absolute trash. The second arc. The first arc has considerable problems. Well, there is a few moments which are good. Accelerator versus Scavenger is pretty fun, even though it was better in the anime, in my opinion. And yeah, the lore behind the Isaac Rosenthal stuff, Rosenthal family, is interesting. I like that it ties in with like the Sephiroth, and could be a nod to the Klonoff in NT. I don't know. Like the demons and stuff. But yeah. The first arc. I mean, I like Esper as well. Esper as a character is good, but she's not the best character of all time. She's just passable. She's got a nice design. I like her design. Cool power in a way. But yeah, even Esper was better in the anime because we got to actually see her backstory with the Ishigatas, which we didn't in the manga. Just stuff like Last Order's relationship with Accelerator was just completely off, and so yikes. What was I don't know if it was Kamachi or Arata, the mangaka, wrote that in, but what the hell were they thinking, making Last Order like get jealous of her Accelerator and say that she wants to become his wife? Like, what were they cooking? That goes against the canon. That goes against what Kamachi established. And then you have Accelerator getting teleported, and it was by like one of those coffins that have level 5 powers that have a demon inside or whatever. They have like a demon soul thing. And it's like a level 5 version of teleport called Assport. And it's called Assport because it's an ass pull. It's in the name. Accelerator is supposed to be immune from teleportation, and yet they just teleport him. And it's... I don't think they came up with an explanation for it, but when I read the wiki and they try and explain it, it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. He's meant to be immune from 11th dimensional teleportation calculations. He's meant to be immune from move points from Kuroko's teleport. Owaki's meant to be considered to be level 5, but why can this teleport affect him? It's horseshit. Absolute disgrace. It broke the canon. Not once, but twice. Possibly more times that I'm not even thinking about right now. Oh yeah, I just remembered. The worst case of it breaking the canon is Accelerator getting his black wings early, when he was meant to get that in the Academy City Invasion arc, where Alistair activates Fuse Kazakiri, and Alistair literally says, I have implanted some along the lines of like calculations into Accelerator's vector shield. So he is inserted the values from the Misuka network into Accelerator's vector system, which is why he is finally able to activate Black Wings in that moment when Fuse Kazakiri is there. And Index sings the song, which then saves Lost Order, so then Accelerator is able to use Black Wings. How does he have it now? Literally, how on earth does Accelerator have Black Wings now? In the Necromancer arc at the end. Could someone explain it to me? This is... People like to meme on like Black Wings, saying that they're a Deus Ex Machina in any ASCII Invasion arc. But this is even more of a Deus Ex Machina, because it's not explained whatsoever. You don't get a comment from Alistair or Kihara Amata theorizing over it. Disgraceful. I think it was more apparent in the anime. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like, yeah, more apparent in the anime where you could see them clearer. Correct me if I'm wrong though. But that's how I remember it. Either way, I just want to have a rant about that because I hate that so much. But yeah, and oh my god, don't get me started on the Nectar arc. Don't get me started. People, right? Okay, guys. For those of you who read the Accelerator manga, you want to see how many times I actually get people commenting on my videos, unironically saying, "Aeon, what about Accelerator Season 2?" And I'm like, oh boy, bless your ignorant souls. Ignorance is bliss, as they say. They have no idea what is coming. If they knew what we knew, they would not be wanting an Accelerator Season 2. But hey, I'm an optimist. I'm overall optimistic. If they can improve the Nectar arc like they did with the Necromancer arc in Season 1, then fair play. But I just see that it's... I don't know how it can be saved. Like, where do I even start with this? You got the twins who are so unlikable, and they're having a Naruto Rasengan battle between the skyscrapers of Academy City. Like, what the hell am I reading? It was like I was reading like Naruto versus Sasuke in Academy City. What the hell is this? It's just so bad. And their backstory just feels so forced. They're not likable. And what's she called? That... Oh... Himegi. They're just not likable. Can someone say... Like, tell me why Himegi is likable? She's annoying. She takes up, like, most of the screen time in the early chapters of the arc. Like, Accelerator is sidelined. And it's just her and Last Order going on stupid slice of life adventures. Like, I read Accelerator for Accelerator, and I'm sure people else, like everyone else does. We don't read it for Himegi and Last Order's adventures, and then, oh my god, we get to the gourmet crap. None of it makes sense. Like, what? Where do these people even come from? They got like an entire amphitheater of people like cheering that Himegi's like being crucified while her nectar is being extracted from her body, which sounds hella sus. They got like these crowds of people. It's like, what? Where do these people come from? You telling me this many people in the Kami City are messed up in the head? I mean, it might be true, but... And it provided, like, a backstory of how Body Crystal was made when we already had a backstory to how Body Crystal was made in the Railgun anime. It wasn't even needed! What was the point in the Nectar arc? There isn't any point. And then it just ends by joining up with Season 2, where Owaki gets punched, and it's like... Wow, that is the most original ending I've ever seen in my life. Wow, what a masterpiece. Sorry, I missed the super chat, I think. Accelerator sings that song, therefore Idol kinda... Yeah. And peak. So yeah. That's why Accelerator's at D. Nish Jii Index. There are some people that really like this spin-off. I like it. I do. I think it's pretty good. However, let me cook. I do not think it's as good as Idol Accelerator. That's going to be. I don't know if it deserves an A. It's been a while. To be fair, it's been a while since I've read it, and it does have some really good chapters. Don't get me wrong. However, when I remember when I read it, and I did not laugh as much as Idol Accelerator. Humor is subjective. If you found Nish Jii Index more funny than Idol Accelerator, fair play. In my subjective opinion, I found Idol Accelerator more funny. I was laughing way harder and way more often than Nish Jii Index. But there were times where I did find it funny, or I liked the character interactions, like the part where Accelerator, Toma, and Motoi go to the restaurant that was one of the best chapters by far. But yeah, I feel like it was limited because it didn't have as many characters as Idol Accelerator. It had a smaller cast, so there was only limited amount of stuff you could, or interactions you could do with it, I guess. So that's my justification for putting it there. But don't get me wrong, it's really good. I enjoy it. It's just not as good as Idol, in my opinion. I don't hate it. I just listen. People really love Konosuba. They thought Konosuba was hilarious. Like season 1. I just didn't find it funny. I think I laughed when I watched Yeah. Okay, there's a super chat coming through. Guy, it's the wholesome teacher. I like wholesome. But for a parody, I want to laugh. Okay, I can appreciate the wholesome aspect, but I want to be entertained. But yeah, like, back to Konosuba, like, when I watched Konosuba season 1, I laughed like 3 times maybe in the entire 12 episode runtime. That's fair. Some people find it hilarious all the time, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Now, that's the beauty about humor. We all have different tastes, so there we go. But shit like Golden Boy and Panty and Stocking, Garter Belt. I guess I must love like these absurd comedies and that. And then there's like, Detroit Metal City. Oh my god, that anime is so unhinged. Has anyone here seen Detroit Metal City? My god, that is absolutely brutal. What are my other favorite comedies in anime? Golden Boy, yeah. I just love really ridiculous stuff. Yeah. Yes, that's my comedic taste. I just love the silly and extreme. Shock value. Okay, now we have mental out. Again, it hasn't fully cooked yet. It's kind of in a similar place to the Year 1 arc with Railgun. Except, I feel like I kind of like the lore more with mental out right now. I'm going to give it a B. Yeah, I'll put it there. I'm going to give it a B. I really like it. But yeah, I feel like it needs to get going a bit more now. The lore is super fascinating. That's a major plus. The fights are really good from what we've seen so far. I like the new characters. Gawain and Kamino are great. I like how Kuroko interacts with Shokuho. But yeah, I need more. Essentially, there's not been like a super major fight yet. I don't think I've read the latest chapter of it, but I've read pretty much most of it. I like the cameos in this one because it's not overabundant with cameos, but when they do happen, it's like, ooh, cool. So yeah, obviously it's not bad per se. Obviously, and yeah, I'm judging this off one arc, so it needs time to cook. I really like it. I'm definitely not a hater of it or anything. But yeah, that's how I feel. And then we got the item manga, which has only got one chapter, so this is like, oh. I guess, I mean, for the one chapter, it's like, yeah, there's a great first chapter, but it's going to go there for now, just simply because it's one chapter, and yeah, but we pretty much know the story, because it's an adaptation of the light novel, and the art is incredible. The art is beautiful. I prefer the art in the manga than the light novel. So maybe it should go in B, because that's a bit harsh. But yeah, Mugano looks absolutely stunning in it. I just want to read more. I need more. Inject it into my veins. It's brilliant. And I feel like for the people who don't like reading light novels, the item manga is going to be a great gateway into item. And hopefully we'll spawn an anime eventually. And we have a super chat. Okay. Oh, that got put off a bit. Ooh. We'll lower the super chat box a bit for the long ones. Side note, the author of Konosuba's new work is better. It's called Combatants Will Be Dispatched, and I won't hear otherwise. Oh, fair enough. I've not heard of that at all. But interesting. What's it about? Combatants that will be dispatched, maybe. Aren't I clever? Well, thank you for the super chat. Okay, now we've done the spin-offs, so we will talk about the side stories. And yeah, some of these have been repeated, like I've said. And for the side stories, bear with me, because I haven't read some of these in years. Because, listen, I'm not going to go back and reread every single side story, because that would take me a long-ass time. I mean, I could do it, but I'd rather make new videos for you guys instead of sacrificing my life to these side stories, which half of which aren't even that good. So yeah, that's my justification for it. Whether you will excuse me or not is up for you to decide. Okay, so we will start off with Biohacker. I have mixed feelings about Biohacker. I know some people really love it, but it's hard for me, man. It's hard for me to rank it high. There's just... Oh, my expectations going into it were so high. And I was just disappointed. I don't know, it just didn't live up to the hype for me. There were just way... Okay, we all know Index has fan service, but there were just way too many mentions of goddamn lollifies. It was just... Bro, just the amount of times it gets mentioned is so, like, once or twice I wouldn't care. But literally, it's like every few pages it gets mentioned. It's like, bro, why? I get the point, Kamachi. I get the point. You don't need to regurgitate it or repeat it over and over again. But ignoring that, talking about the actual story. I like the initial setup, like the dragon stuff, with the biohacker thing. Like the biologically created dragon that was chasing around Toma. I like that because it involved tactics and stuff. I do feel like Toma kind of got off quite well. He like, I feel like there was so many like opportunities for Toma to like die or get like seriously injured, and he just didn't. He like Toma's luck was on point in Biohacker, in my opinion. Like, yeah, there's one time where he's like trying to get close to this Gatling machine gun, and it's like, oh yeah, and then there was like this motorbike moment with Seria, which is cool. I'm remembering bits by talking about it. What else was cool? Oh yeah, Beginning Child, of course. Beginning Child was the best part of the volume, in my opinion. All the lore behind that was fascinating. Great. I just was not a fan of Ayu in this volume. Like, I guess there's the problem with prequels, because we all know what's going to happen. We pretty much know the ending before it even happens, so you just wait for, like, you want to see how well it's executed up to that point. And Ayu was just a complete brat to Toma. I'm like, as I'm reading this, like, I'm just like, hang on. Ayu is meant to fall in love with Toma, and yet she's being a complete dick to him. Like, it's not even like in the gag type manner that Misaka or Index are. I just did not get their chemistry. Is it just me? I just didn't get it. And I get that Ayu has like severe mental health issues. Like, we all know she's crazy and psycho. So I guess maybe that's her rationale for falling in love with Toma. Or expecting him to save her. It was just, I just did not get it. I just didn't feel it. That's just me personally. And then it's like, yeah, she tries to ring him up on the phone. He doesn't answer because he didn't have a phone with him because he bumped into Shokuho and lost his phone, if I remember correctly. And she thinks, oh, he doesn't answer. He doesn't care about me. I'm going to off myself. What if he was taking a shit or something? What if he was in the shower? You don't know what he's up to. Give him a second ring. Give it 5 minutes. But of course, if that logical rationale was applied to this, then it wouldn't be as dramatic. I get that. But it just seemed a bit over the top. And when that was happening in a dramatic moment like that, where you, yeah, I don't know. It just the execution, the concept is good, but the execution didn't land for me. It really didn't. Mr. Galaf, super chat again, thank you. Combatants will be dispatched is right up your Index fandom alley, since it's placing science versus magic. Oh! Even if it's usually just comedic moments. Interesting. So is it inspired by Index then? Or is it like pretty original take on the concept? Either way, that's how many volumes does it have? Is it in English? Like, has it been translated? Because I know some light novel volumes haven't been translated at all, because we're very lucky to have JSO6 who does it. But yeah. Anyway, that's my take on Biohacker. I know people love it, but yeah. Osmosis. How many subs for an IF crossover ranking? I mean, I'll do that for no subs required. Because I need continuous IDs for live streams, so that could be one of them. All Index crossovers ranked. Because yeah, if I'm doing a stream every week now, which I'm aiming to do, hopefully, then yeah, I will need ideas to keep that sustainable and going for the foreseeable future. So why not? Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea. I never considered that. So crossovers ranked. Thank you for the suggestion. That will go in my ideas file. Okay, now we have Toaru Jihinki no Fanfare, which is pretty short, but it's pretty solid. I'm going to know S or A. Probably A. It's not the deepest story in the world, but for what it was, it's really entertaining. It's not written by Kamachi, it's written by what's he called? The author of Durarara and Bakano, funnily enough. But he does a great job with the characters, seriously. And there's like a new Kihara girl who's an android introduced. I can't remember too much about her, to be honest. But all the stuff with like Sogita like clowning on Misaka, that was brilliant to read. Like that was wild. So yeah, I don't know what else to add for this other than that. Yeah, I remember it being really fun, entertaining. Not much to say, 'cause, yeah, like I said, it's short, but for what it was, can't really have too many complaints. But I feel like for it to be S, it needs to be exceptional, and I don't feel like it has enough substance in the story to be warranted for that rank. Okay, what do you guys think? Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Now we have Norse Mythology SS, aka Kanzaki SS. Oh. Now, we'll probably place it IA. Now we've had a super chat before I can talk about it. Oh my god. I don't know what I've done to the sub box. Let me. Here we go. Yeah, it just gets cut off, unfortunately, because it's too long, but 7 volumes caught up. Author been busy like with Konosuba for RIP. But it's more so since Konosuba author, you'll see the pointing out of tropes and shit. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, 7 volumes isn't bad at all, so thank you for the info. And the super chat. But yeah, Kanzaki SS. Oh, don't know what that box is. Random box appeared on my screen. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, what do I think about this? I feel like it had a slow start, because essentially Norse mythology is Kanzaki doing different like side quests in a way, dealing with different Norse related magic side incidents, which is a cool concept in itself. There are some good stuff here and there. Like there's one guy who has like, is it? I think it's in this volume where he's got like grimoire armor, because grimoires are meant to be like indestructible, and that was like a really cool application of it. Yeah, Gene Shop Owner is cool. Well, yeah, it's kind of a slow read getting into the first bits of it, and I think that might put people off from reading it maybe. But once you get to the Brunhild stuff, that's when it's like gets really good. Brunhild is a character that appears in NT, and I feel like you have to read this to fully appreciate her character. Otherwise, she just kind of shows up in NT, and you're like, oh, cool, a new Sate, who is also a Valkyrie. But you're like, okay. You don't really care too much. You're just like, oh, cool, she's new. And you don't really get to see much about her character at all in NT, which I guess is a flaw about that. But what if you read Norse mythology, you actually get to understand who she is and her actual character. And yeah, Brunhild, she has like a Berserk tier backstory. Like her backstory is absolutely brutal. My god. When I was reading it, I was like, damn, this is like reading Berserk. It's savage. And yeah, her fight with Kanzaki's great. You get introduced to Gungnir for the first time. Really great fight. So yeah, it's just let down slightly by the early parts of it, I guess. Okay. Railgun SS1. My goodness. Railgun SS. The Railgun SS's aren't bad. They're just hella mid. Actually, yeah, I'm ranking Biohacker higher than it. Screw it. They're just hella mid. This one is probably the best out of them, in my opinion. Because it has the I really like it has the Aztec magician stuff. So basically, Misaka and her gang go to this weird island thing. I forgot the name of it, but this is where they're like it's like a theme park kinda, but they also use it to film like movies. So there's like some really wacky stuff going on. So when there's like these Aztec magic planes. Yeah, they're like made of wood or something. I don't know. But yeah, the Aztecs have weird old magic planes. Don't ask. But yes, it's the same cabal that Etzali and Zochi are from. And Zochi actually appears in this volume, and that's how she knows Saturn from when they meet in Railgun T, which is a bit of trivia for you, which I should probably make a video about. But yeah, so when the people see these planes and stuff, they think, oh, this is part of this must be them shooting a movie. This isn't real. And of course it is real. So yeah, there's a bit of politics behind it, because Academy City are concerned that the Aztecs are like attacking this place and everything. Saturn has this thing to do where I think Saturn gets kidnapped or something, if I remember correctly. I thought that was pretty good. Well, not her getting kidnapped, but the story behind it. But yeah, again, typical Kamachi is a slow start. You gradually get warmed up to it. I guess the best things about it are more of the Aztec stuff, because that's such an underutilized part of the series. Like, we really need more Aztec love. It's just weird that it's in a random Railgun SS and not in Index. Like, legit. We haven't had proper Aztec material since, like, OT19, which is tragic. Okay, Etzali has a cameo every now and then, but nothing of substance. Then you have Misaka using her water wings, which is cool. I don't remember the ending at all to it. Oh wait, Alistair does have a scene where he's like communicating to the people in charge of the island, I think. I guess that's cool. And he gives them a warning or something. It's like, okay, Alistair being cool, badass, I guess, in his politician mode. Yeah. It's okay. There's just nothing that's you go and you think, wow, that's crazy. What do you guys think? Saturn gets kidnapped for the billionth time, wow. Hi, Akabe Rintaro looking dude. I've actually cosplayed Akabe at one point. So, there you go. It was cool to see something Railgun set in America. Yeah, it was like an island in America or something like that. And how that means they can't just attack whoever at risk being shot at. Yeah. Just seen your Imagine Breaker video. Oh, thanks for watching that. Make sure you check that out after the stream if you haven't seen it. And yeah, I don't know how well it's doing for views at the moment. I need to check it. Liberal Art City. Oh my god, yes. Thank you, chat. I can't believe I forgot the name of the city. Liberal Art City, yes. I'm such a fraud. Like, I told you guys, I haven't read these side stories in years, so please forgive me if I don't remember stuff. Did someone say Railgun S is mid? Question mark. No, I'm not. I wasn't saying Railgun S is mid. I'm saying Railgun SS1. The SS. The side stories. Not Railgun S is in season 2 of Railgun. Please understand that. I love Railgun S, apart from Santa Party stuff. And then the super chat's coming in. Yep. Thank you, Sir, Mr. Galaf. I was about to call you Sir Galaf in a second there, which is very formal. But yeah, thank you. Sounds like it could. Jeez, yeah, it's true. Okay, SS2. This one is worse than SS1. This time, yeah, again, it's not an Academy City. This time, it's just, yeah, I think it's just Misaka. The other members of the Rail Gang stay at home. And we're going to give this, oh, do I give it a D or a C? God. Probably D. It's not entirely rubbish, but, like, eh. So, again, I don't remember the place where she goes to. Please tell me in the comments, or the chat, I should say. Well, she goes to this place. It's like is it in Russia or somewhere? Yes, I think it's an... I think it's like Academy... Is it an Academy City Institute in Russia? or something like that. But yeah, this place, she goes on like a foreign, she goes to represent Academy City, essentially. She goes there to, yeah, because the other level 5s obviously aren't the best for representing Academy City in the worldwide stage. So she goes, and there's like these buildings that can, you can like go to these weird buildings, and I can't describe it. It's like you go, imagine you go to a city and all the buildings are iPad screens and you can like interact with them. That's the best way of me describing what a city is like. You can like shop on these screens and everything. It's like really futuristic and wild. I guess that concept was kind of cool. And weirdly enough, Railgun T Opening 2 reminded me of that, where you have like the characters' faces on the buildings of the Academy City. Because it kind of is portrayed like that in this volume as well, where Misaka's face is on the building, if I remember correctly. I mean, that concept's cool, I guess. And then, yeah, she bumps into none other than Lessar, who's there, and she's got this weird shop selling quirky magic stuff. I can't remember why she's there. But yeah, basically her and Misaka team up to kind of overthrow the shady people who are there. Yeah, my memory's not good. And yeah, I remember how it ends, though, because it ends like Lessar goes... I think New Light are also there, like the other members of Lessar's cabal. And yeah, she meets up with them. They go back to England. Oh yeah, she was after something, wasn't she? Was, oh yeah, wasn't she after like the coordinates or location of where the Katana original is? I think that was it. Because I remember they go back to England and they're basically in their van and they're like, oh, okay, we know where it is now. So it does tie in with Index and the Royal Family arc. So it kind of is a prequel to that, weirdly, and yet it's Railgun. It's very strange how they have, yeah. I guess if you want Railgun and magic stuff, you can read these side stories, even if they're not, like, the best plot in the world. Like for this, we don't see, physically, the villain. For this. They're, like, off-screen. They're like an entity. And I feel like it works more in OT1 where you have like the church. I don't think it works here. Because we weren't really introduced into to Laura Stewart in OT1. We just knew the Anglicans or Necessarius were doing some shady stuff with Index, and that was it. So yeah. I don't feel like it was essential. Like that's the vibe I get with these, especially with Railgun SS2. It's not essential at all. And yeah, it's just, there's just nothing really that's too exciting. Why was the Accelerator manga so bad, Aeon? I mean, you can rewind the video and I explain it very passionately. Yeah, it was in Russia. And Prismatic is here. Yes, you finally got your wish. I finally done it. I hope you're happy. So, yeah. That's how I feel about Railgun SS2. SS3. SS3 is better. Has some cool fights here and there. It's not my... Like... It's not the best. I admit it. It had a more fun start than the other Railgun SS volumes with the violin competition between Kuroko and Yori, the other girl with the twin tails. And yeah, it evolves into a plot about violins. It's kind of weird. But again, it ties in with magic side concepts because the violins have like these fairy things inside. So they like kind of possess, and one of them possesses the user, if I remember correctly. And you have like a violin showdown. I'm not selling this SS very well, am I? People reading Railgun for violin competitions and shit. Well, yeah, it provides some interesting lore, as it does reference, like, the Rosicrucians as well, I think. And it does reference, like, how... like, the concepts of Thelema, which is the religion founded by Aleister Crowley, how that is the basis for the personal realities of the Espers, which I think is really fascinating, and that's one of the most intriguing concepts. Even if it was like a throwaway line, like, I feel like that teases so much about the true nature of Esper powers and personal realities and all that jazz. And I would love to make a video about that again, because I have referenced that passage at one point. But yeah, it's, again, the villain is kind of mid. There's not an awful lot going on. Some of the powers are cool. I like the teamwork between the girls. Like, Junko is cool in it. Gogoho has a role. Well, I don't know what else to say. Some people really like this volume, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's good, but it's not better than the average Index volume, in my opinion. So yeah, that's how I feel. Oh my god, NTSS. Bro. This was really short SS volume. But man, my memory is shady on this one. But I know it's where Index kind of gets separated from everyone, and she has like a confrontation with this Egyptian magician who's like a black cat kind of thing. I don't remember this honestly that well. But Index does get to show off a bit more. Like, people like to criticize her for not being proactive or at the forefront, or seems reliant on other characters, but this proves that Index can kick ass on her own. So I guess it has that going for it. That's about it. There's not much to it. Okay, now we got SS2. And I wouldn't usually class... Oh, actually, we'll do SS1 first. That makes more sense. So, yeah, I usually wouldn't class the Index SSs as S-tier volumes if I compare them to, like, the average Index volume. I mean, the great volumes, like, compared to other... Yeah. If you look at other Index volumes, they're great, but they're not like the cream of the crop. But since this is an SS tier list, I feel like they are above the usual standard for the side story volume. So, yeah, SS1. We get a few different plot lines here and there. There's like some of the magic side, quirky, like interactions behind the scenes. But the main plot of the volume is the Skill Out Uprising arc, where you have Kamaba Ritoku trying to basically have a coup d'etat in Academy City, trying to take over, and only trying to get to like this computer system at one point with Mazura, I think, yeah. And you get like to see the foundations of Group, how Group operates and everything. That's really cool. Kamaba is a great character, and we also get introduced to Hamazura for the first time. And yeah, we also get, yeah, Misuka's mom being really funny with Accelerator. Toma's fight with Hamazura is great. Don't know Jutsu, punch to the face. You're not living your life correctly. All that great stuff. But yeah, what do you guys think of SS1? What do you think Toaru will end at? You mean what volume? I don't know. Maybe there's another light novel series after this. Maybe GT isn't the last light novel series, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah. SS1 is going in S, and I will put SS2 there as well. Which one do I prefer? I mean, SS2 kind of has... this is the one I've read the most recently. So this SS2, I have the best recollection of because I have reread it like a few months ago, maybe. So my memory is great on SS2. So I have done something. But yeah, I feel like SS1 has more of a complete narrative. Of course, the plot lines do somewhat converge at the end with SS2 with the gemstone stuff and the Stargate project, which is an actual real project, by the way, that the US were trying to do to develop psychic powers in the military to use them as weapons against the USSR, which is interesting. But in Index, it's, they're trying to develop psychic powers on the same level as Academy City, and of course they did not succeed. Well, yeah, there's a revival of the project, and they try to kidnap the gemstones across the world. But Academy City intervene with the Misuka sisters, and then Olorus is very concerned by this because he thinks that Academy City are trying to do something with the gemstones by experimenting on them. And I guess there's a lot of lore in this volume, which is fascinating. I guess that's what would probably place it above SS1, is that the lore is more compelling, but I feel like it's the overall story, SS1's probably better. But yeah, you got a few different other sides, like little mini stories that aren't related to gemstone stuff, like Kamazura breaking into a bank, and Toma's dad visiting places, and we get introduced to Misuka's dad as well, who's a Giga Chad. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, we see why Toma's dad collected the souvenirs, where he got them from. He traveled to Italy. He met some magic side people who he wasn't aware of. Yeah, Gunher's great in it. Absolute iconic scenes with Gunher. His fight with Olorus was fantastic, even if he did get bodied. But yeah, it really intrigues me because of the reasons why Olorus did feel like he needed to intervene, where Alistair was supposedly getting the gemstones, and he probably would have used them to his advantage if he did get all of them. Because of the ties that the gemstones have with magic specifically, I feel like that's why it was a major concern for the magic side, or Olorus, who was more probably educated on what was going on and the connotations on what Academy City could use them for, because the gemstones were around before magic even existed, or before it was discovered, I should say, maybe. Because all humans and living creatures innately have mana, which is the prerequisite to use magic, so I guess magic has always existed, but in terms of manifesting it into the system known as magic, I guess that was after the gemstones. So yeah, cool. We will place it there. What is chat saying? Toma's dad is also Giga Chad. Fair enough. Will Toma get his memory again? Is that, if there is any possibility? It is possible. I don't know if you're saying any spoilers. I guess it is somewhat possible. Okay, we will continue. SP. SP has a few different stories to it. We'll place it here. I don't remember all of them. There was like this weird Toma story with some interesting concepts. I can't remember it directly. And then there's like Ueharu trying to stop this. Ueharu and Yamikawa trying to stop this out of control bus, which remind me of the movie Speed. I made a meme of that as well, or I made a meme of someone else that had that. But that was a cool story. Then you have Style versus Richard Brave, who's this rogue magician that's betrayed Necessarius. Yeah, Style was a savage in this volume. Like, he immediately when you get to well, I think Style's story's first, so when you open it up, it's like Style just like murdered a bunch of random people. It's like, damn, this is the most savage we've seen Style for a while. Because we usually think of Style as a kind of joke character. Maybe the anime has made that more apparent. But yeah, literally, you kind of forget this guy. Yeah, this guy's a trained killer who burns enemy magicians and stuff, and witches and everything. But yeah, the fight between him and Richard Brave was okay. It kind of felt a bit messy in places. There was a lot of mumbo jumbo about runes and stuff. It was kind of hard to follow from what I remember. But yeah, it was decent. What else? Yeah, I just remember it not as being as good as Kanzaki SS. Yeah. Okay, now we got Makusa Entrance Exam SS. So this is how the Makusa basically join Necessarius and the Anglican Church after, what do you call it? The Book of the Law arc or the Ursula Aquinas arc. And yeah, there's a lot going on with this because they basically get like scammed in a way. But I guess that's a spoiler. But yeah, there's a lot of plot twists in this volume, and there is some interesting lore. We get to see like the what do you call it? The H.P. Lovecraft stuff, like the Cthulhu mythos, whatever you call it. That's kind of cool. And yeah, there's also like some lore behind the Western Makusa about that, how that came to be. So yeah, basically the Makusa get like kind of framed by this Western Makusa girl who's trying to like, I think she's like trying to take over like the British Museum or something, get like all the magical spiritual items in there, I think. But yeah, it's pretty solid. Not the best, but enjoyable. I like the villain in this one, actually. I will give it that. So I'll place it there. That's repeat, that's repeat, that's repeat. Cold Game. Cold Game. I honestly don't know where to put this. I don't remember. I remember like the vague concept of it. There's like this weird killer who's on trial. Like someone that's frozen. I'm not doing this justice, have I? Well, yeah, there's like these weird murders and everything. Like, yeah. Listen, I thought it was okay. The fact I can't remember much about it says a lot. It was... What do you guys think about Cold Game? I know there's people that really like it. Cold Game is so bad, yeah. There's some. I'm aware that some people like Cold Game, but I can't remember hardly anything about it. It was just, I do remember it just kind of like ended, and I was like, oh, is that it? Okay. I just don't know what to say about it. It's yeah. If you don't need to read Cold Game, you're not missing out on much. Trust me. Okay, we got Road to Endymion. When I was going to check this out, because I wanted to read like all the canon of Toaru, which I pretty much have. So when I realized, yeah, I always knew it existed. This is a really short side story for the movie. It's basically a preview for the index, preview or prequel, more so prequel for the Index movie. And yeah, my expectations were it was going to be more related to like the stuff in the movie, except it wasn't. Like, okay, you have the space elevator referenced, but... And I guess the main villain's trying to use the space elevator for, like, the stars in the sky for this crazy-ass spell that's going to destroy, like, a crap ton of stuff. Maybe the part of the world as well. But, yeah, it isn't really that relevant to the movie stuff at all. Unless you count the space elevator, which, okay. Like, it's nothing to do with the new characters they introduced, which is fair play. But instead, we get to follow this, like, new Hindu cabal. Oh, yeah, like, Style, like, fights Toma, and I feel like Style, from what I remember, he got kind of shafted on that fight. I think Style put his runes on, like, this wind turbine, and Toma, like, realized it and negated it, and then just wrecked Style like super hard. It's like, all right. But yeah, the new characters are kind of forgettable. There's like Urea Paddy Exeter and Dodesi Exeter. I think I've done really well there to remember their names. But yeah, it's not the best. We'll place it there. Yeah. You listen, you don't need to read that to appreciate the Index movie. If you can appreciate the Index movie, because the story of that is kind of mid too, but it's not essential at all. Okay, what have we got next? That's a repeat, 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 that's a repeat. Okay, is this virtual on? I think it is. Is this virtual on? Yeah, I haven't read virtual on. Oh, wait. There's 2 virtual ons? Like, what the hell's that one? Oh, is one of them the manga? Okay. I think one of them might be the manga virtual on. Yep. I know it's a sin. I haven't read virtual on novel yet. I will. I know some of the stuff that happens in it because I've been spoiled on a few things. But I do want to read it. I will read it. I promise. It will be my New Year's resolution to read it. Even if it's not canon and it's a crossover. I guess for when I make my crossover video, I should read it. There you go. That will be done at some point. Okay. What is this? Did anyone recognize that? Like, Misaka and Shokuho? Yeah, I'm aware it gave us some stuff. Yeah, I like the Hindu stuff in Road to Endymion, but because that's such an underexplored aspect of the magic side. But yeah, the characters they chose for it weren't most compelling. But yeah. Well, what is that one? What is that one with Misaka and Shokuho on? Is that virtual on again? I don't remember that. Help me out, chat. I don't know. Is there anything else that I've not covered here? There's why is rainbow color notes here? That's an art book. I don't know why the art book's there. I think it does come in with like a side story though, but yeah, I don't think it's like a rainbow. I don't think that's like representative of the actual side story that's in that volume, or not even a volume. It's an art book. There are some side stories that aren't on here. So there's the 15th anniversary Railgun side story, and I will talk about that after I read your guys' messages. No, that's not the Railgun 15th anniversary one. The doll side story. Oh yeah, there's the doll. There's like a bunch of like mini side stories on Bakasuki. So there's like the Kihara Kagan and Kihara Kagan and what's it called, Noken one. That goes in A, in my opinion. There's like the, what do you call it? The yeah, the Shoko doll one. That was okay. There's like the, is there a Kamakawa Sisters one? I can't remember that for anything. There's a whole bunch of mini ones, but I guess this tier list has just got like the major ones that are like full volume length. Because the other ones are like really goddamn short. Like super short. But yeah, I feel like most of the super short ones are pretty good in places. Yeah, well, I'll talk about the Railgun SS4 or the 15th anniversary SS because that's not on here and that's the full volume. Because I think this was probably made before that came out. So Railgun SS4. I made a video on this. You probably watched it maybe, but for those of you who haven't, that's probably the worst. I don't know. It's probably either equal or worse than SS2. There were bits of it I liked. I liked the Kuroko story. I like the is it the Saturn's story? The one where they have like that app which people sign up to die in, which is pretty messed up. Oh no, I feel like Saturn's story was the one where Ueharu faked her death or pretended she was dead. That was like really weird. I was like, it felt kind of out of character that Ueharu would go that far to troll Saturn. I was like, damn. Yeah, the Suicide app was good. Well, I'm not saying the Suicide apps are good. Don't cancel me. No, I'm saying that that story was compelling, but like the concept behind it, but the way that Ueharu like teleported out of nowhere or got and it wasn't even explained. I was like, what the hell? It feel like really underdeveloped, like the story. And then the last bit of it was a bit ridiculous. Like the Resinary thing where she was like influencing all these people with some bullshit. And then there were like these underground places, like underground cellars or basements under the school garden where this girl is being kept like against her will there. And how she survived that long, I don't know. Good job they arrived at that time, otherwise she probably would have died of starvation. If you want my full like breakdown where I can articulate my thoughts way better than this, then you can watch that video, I guess. It's called like Railgun 15th Anniversary SS thing. You'll find it. But Resinary Sadist Dealing is such a crap villain. And her fight with Misaka, like the first one, was just complete horseshit. Horse porn because she became a villain because her horse died. Yep, she's a Vento type. And a Maidono type character. I am evil because horse died. Or had to be put down. Yep. Goddamn. It was just like really weird. I do like the new Espers that he introduced. A lot of new cool abilities. That was good. But yeah, SS4 was not cooking. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the side stories. Have I missed any of them? If so, send them in the chat and I will ramble on about them and tell you what I think. Because I'm aware that this tier list doesn't include like the side story, like the really mini side story ones that don't have like proper covers to them. Oh, Agnese SS. Yes, thank you for pointing that out, Batman. Thank you. Yes, Agnese SS. That would probably go. I actually. I was not expecting Agnese SS to cook, but it weirdly did in its own way. I like Agnese SS. I don't like Agnese as a character. She's like my least favorite Index character. I don't like her at all. But they really cooked with it. Like, for what it was like, damn, this is actually pretty decent. So they go and like do different magic-related missions across the world. Or in Europe, I guess. And it has like some really compelling stuff in it. Unironically. Like, you're introduced to this like voodoo magician girl. I forgot her name, but she's got really cool character design. I like her a lot. And it ties in with this. I forgot the name of the Cabal. Oh, but I remember the guy's name who's the leader of the Cabal because he's called Albert Dying or something. It's like, come on, Kamachi, you're coming up with these character names. Yeah, Albert Dying, and I forgot the name of the Cabal, but their Cabal is like one of the most compelling Cabals in all of Index. Like, they're like a fusion of like the ancient like Roman stuff and like Christian stuff, I think. Like some like neo-pagan type stuff, and I was like, damn, this is really fascinating. Reading about them, I was like, that's really cool. And there was also like this plot with this ship in the English Channel, which had links to Alistair as well. So we got some more Alistair lore as well. That was like, yes, this is cooking. Well, yeah, there were some really cool fights in it, if I remember. Not an awful lot of fights, but the ones that were in I enjoyed. So yeah, Agnese SS deserves an A. I would probably place it round about where Amakusa SS is. Yes, Biohacker is in B. You can scroll back to the video and watch it to find out why it's there. Okay, yeah, I've talked about Kegon SS. GTSS. Oh yeah, GTSS, that's got Koroyaru using magic again. That's all I remember out of it. It is pretty forgettable. Yeah. Toaru SS can go in, or yeah, GTSS, whatever you want to call it. I can go in like high C or low B. I don't know. What's the weirdest side story you've read? That's a good question. Weirdest. Let me have a look on my own screen, because I'm looking at the stream overlay. Which one's the weirdest out of these? They're all weird in a different way. That's such a cliche answer, but it's true. Which has the like most janky ass index stuff in it though? Railgun SS3 was pretty weird for the violin showdown with the fairies inside. That was pretty out there. And so are like the flying. I feel like each one of them has like their own weird shit sprinkled in. Like Railgun SS1 had the Aztec ships or planes. That was bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like none of them really get to like some of the insanity that you get in New Testament. There's a lot of like fetus babies that are evil or anything like that. Weirdest SS for me was the first or final SS that revealed the final villain of Index. Are you talking about like the Lolly Thighs one? Oh yeah, that's weird in its own way. My god. They revealed the final villain of Index. Oh yeah, was that the one that like teased between like Alistair and Laura Stewart being the final villain or something? Because I remember that. Yeah, I remember reading that because like Uehara was like accessing something on a computer or something, or in Academy City's bank. Something like that. But, yeah. And it's ironic that none of them... Well, I won't spoil GT and all that, but yeah, it's funny how it was like, oh yeah, who's going to be the main villain? Is it going to be Alistair or Laura? If you know, you know. Any more SS I've missed? Other than, like, the ones that don't have covers and everything. My hair is doing wonders. If not, then I'm happy to do a question and answer segment for like 10 minutes or so. If you have any questions you'd like to ask me about Index or whatever, as long as it's appropriate, then please fire away. Important to stay hydrated. Kamachi crossover. Oh yeah, I've not read any of the Kamachi crossovers. I'm sorry. Because in order to read them, I have to read like all the Kamachi stories, and I haven't done that. So, yeah, those are going unread. Unfortunately. Any questions? I know the stream is probably behind a bit. Prince Manic, do you believe Aqua's Divine Mother's mercy ability will let him be a successful Esper Saint hybrid? That is a fantastic question. I think so. Because if we look at what Koroyoru can do, where she can... Well, I don't know the term, but... Transport is the wrong term. I need to think of the right term here. Where she could... Transfer, yes. Don't know why I couldn't think of transfer. Where she could transfer the negative punishment that's associated with the taboo of using magic onto her mechanical parts of her body. That, in theory, suggests that it takes the concept of it being a negative punishment or a side effect. And if we realize how Divine Mother's mercy works, then I could actually see that working just because of how it's been applied and explained with individuals like Koroyoru. And anyway, even if Aqua still internally bled from it, even if it didn't work, I can see him just like shrugging that off because Aqua's just an absolute beast. I mean, he was basically doing something of a similar ilk when he was taking power away from Gabriel and the Star of Bethlehem in World War III, where he was like, yeah, just doing his mode. You get what I'm talking about when Hamazura was talking about that. But yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for that. When White Queen showed up and teamed up with Accelerator, I creamed. God damn, that sounds pretty hype, to be honest. Because I have read Blood Sign Volume 1 and a bit of Volume 2 a long time ago. Jatu Ayushi. Sorry. Jatu Ayush. There we go. Sorry about that. I struggle with names. I hope I'm saying that right. If not, I'm sorry. Did you meet Kamachi in person, Aeon? I wish. I wish, like, bro, if I ever got the chance to meet Kamachi IRL, like, listen, I'm just a guy who makes stupid, crappy videos in at home. My earpods just died, so I'll put my earphones in. But yeah, I make like passable videos about anime and Index on YouTube. So I don't think I'm worthy to meet Kamachi. I'll be honest, but hey, if such an opportunity would ever arise, like, he's such a mysterious figure, like, I don't know, like, we know that, like, the author of, like, Toradora and obviously, like, Kazuma Miki have met him in person, and some other light novel authors have had the chance to meet him somehow. But I don't. He's a pretty private individual. But if I ever got a chance to meet him, my God, that doesn't even compute in my brain. That's like beyond my capacity to think. he's just a mad genius. I can't express, like, in words how much Kamachi has had an impact on my life in a way, which is kind of crazy. But at the same time, he just comes out with some absolute stupid stuff. But at the same time, he comes out with some of the most fascinating and mind-boggling concepts I've ever read. And somehow he makes it work. And fair play, like, you gotta respect that, even if you're not the biggest fan of Kamachi. But yeah, I would love to have the privilege and honor to meet him. But yeah, I doubt it. I very much doubt it. But yeah, I can dream. Mr. Man asks, do you think Index will have an actual time skip? I would be very surprised. I think the entire fandom would be shocked. Just because we know how notorious Index is for cramming everything into such a small time window. And not just the Index as well. It's like the entire Toaru timeline and the spin-offs all pretty much occur simultaneously within the span of 6-7 months now. At least we're in the new year now. We're in January of the next year. So new year, new opportunities, maybe? I don't know. Well, yeah, it's wild. I just don't see it happening unless I don't know, someone messes up with a timeline of Index and messes that around a bit. That's the only way I can see it happening. But again, it's just, I don't know if it's a possibility. I don't know if it's even in Kamachi's thought process to do that. I feel like it could benefit in a way if it did that, because then it becomes more feasible in terms of how you have so many world-ending events happening so often after each other, and it gives Toma to have a chance to actually pass his year at school and that. Because let's face it, Toma is not passing his school year. There is no way he is passing. So he's gonna have to do resit. He's gonna have to redo the year. Poor Toba. God damn. So I would welcome it as long as it's written in a decent way. And it's a justification for doing it. So yeah, well, only time will tell, but I doubt it. Okay, I think that is all the questions. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Again, I will try and do some more streams in the foreseeable future. Trying to do them regularly. And make sure you check out my Imagine Breaker video if you haven't already, because I worked pretty hard on it and it's got a sponsor. So please check that out. That'd be great. Thank you. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world. And stay tuned for more content. And yes, for channel members, I'm doing a channel member video very soon. Stay tuned for that. I'm on an absolute roll of content. I'm in a better place now in terms of my schedule and mentally. So the content will be coming and hopefully consistently. So yeah, thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Bye.